a great conversation, man. We just lost a legend, Jim Brown. I see you guys are saying that we lost a legend. You know, he averaged 5.2 yards per toe. He had 106 touchdowns in his career. And when I tell you Jim Brown, a staple piece of all running backs that ever played this game, he is the ultimate staple piece. I think that he started playing when they had leather helmets, I believe. And they were playing also 8 to 10 games a season, not 16, I believe, during that time frame. And for him to have the amount of production and the average per yards, dare I say, when we talk about Hall of Famers, right, it's really Hall of Famers. Can you explain the story of the NFL without them? And the answer about this Jim Brown, you can't explain the NFL without him. You can't go down and say the NFL at its total presence can be explained. You got to mention this guy right here. And for those, man, who were blessed enough to see this man, let me know in the chat. But Jim Brown, a person that I wouldn't mind the NFL, and we talk about numbers and we talk about things of that nature, of how sacred they are, out of the respect of Jim Brown and the legacy that he brought to the table and the belief system that he was able to do and being extraordinary, right? To not just be a football player, but a movie star, right? That they should take that number 3 and a 2 and not allow a single player in the National Football League wear 32.
He ain't lying.
This dude is the GOAT as it relates to running backs. We know that he didn't play a plethora of years like we seen out of my guy Emmett, and I'll go tooth and nail to fight y'all about my guy Emmett. But Jim Brown is the GOAT. And now he's gone from this dimension. Absent from the body is present with the Lord. And I bet you he probably have an extra set of eyes out there for those who are in need, because this dude right here brought a lot to the table. Legacy. When you start thinking about Adrian Peterson on how he ran, literally, I want you guys, I want you guys to look at Jim Brown on how he was able to run. He'll put Adrian Peterson to shame. To shame. To shame. The younger generations, you know, they probably, you know, it was way before my generation too. But they probably understand, like, yeah, man, it's Jim Brown, man, anybody can do that, man. Shoot, Jim Brown, man, give me James Brown. But Jim Brown, shoot, this dude is that dude. Yes, indeed, he's that dude. And I don't think, if there's a running back who haven't heard of Jim Brown, I would, shoot, if a running back say, I haven't heard of Jim Brown, and I'm coaching, you know what I'm saying? I would want you to do me a 10-page essay, you know, without Chat GPT on Jim Brown. And you better have it returned to me, you know, by tomorrow. Yes, indeed. He was 87 years young. Yes, indeed, Patrice. Yes, indeed. Jim Brown, that dude, definitely, you know. And you got to understand the time and the temperaments and the era that he ran and played football in, too. It wasn't all easy, you know what I'm saying? We may think it was easy, but no, man. He played football at a harsh time, very harsh time. His whole career was during that harsh time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so he is that guy, man. The NFL need to definitely pay a special tribute to him, right? They need to. Yes, indeed. I tell people all of this all the time, that we only here for a vapor, small seconds of time. Tell me not and mourn for numbers. Life is but an empty dream, for a soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real and life is earnest. And the grave is not his goal. Dust thou art, to dust returneth, was not even spoken of the soul. In his broad fields of battle and bivouacs of life, be not like a dumb-driven cattle, but write this down. Be a hero in the strife. Lives of great men all remind us we can live our lives sublime in departing, and leave behind us footprints on the mighty sands of time. What are you leaving behind? Willie, Sugar Daddy, Juan, D Park, Choctaw. What are you guys leaving behind, B.D. Gray, Patrice, Topeka? In the sands of time, what legacy are we leaving behind? What will you be known for? And what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to grind for? When they ask the stance and the saying, who are you? When it's all done, when your book is ending and the chapters are over with and people can thumb through it, what are we leaving behind? What kind of legacy we're leaving? Fresh, Ramon, Swain, how would you be remembered? When the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. Swain, he says he's gonna leave behind unpaid bills. In some communities, that's a good thing, right? Some people say, man, forget them student loans. I was a student when I got those loans. I'm a grown man now. I learned to leave them behind. Come on with it, y'all. But whatever you may leave behind, make sure that you will be remembered in a good way. Make sure your name will be known in a good fashion. And do your very best. Legacy building